So I'm going to get a little personal today. So I first met Owens Shelby back in 2008 when I was 2 years in practicing as a hedge fund attorney at a large law firm. He was working in Springfield for the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And I have to tell you, when he picked me up for one of our first dates, he showed up in this extremely beat up car. It was a Chevrolet Lumina. On its very last leg, unfortunately. It was like crumbling from the outside and the inside. When I was sitting in the passenger seat, like the roof was discolored. But I went with my gut. And I, myself, at the time, was dealing with an extremely unique set of challenges. So for me, I seem to embody this glistening example of success as an attorney who experienced chronic poverty and foster care, all while being a single parent to a 6-year-old son. But on the inside, I was crumbling from the remnants of my trauma. So with that Lumina, Owens figured out a way to process and problem solve for me. He used that car to help me run all of the errands that I had no energy to run all over the city of Chicago. He took us grocery shopping with that car. He took us to doctor's appointments. He took us everywhere. With that Lumina, he registered our son, who he has since adopted, for his very first sports teams. I had zero capacity to do this as a single parent. He would take that car, he lived in Forest Park, Illinois, he drove to Streeterville where we lived, back to Oak Park to take him to basketball games, because as a man, he knew that this is what he needed in terms of dealing with his own adversities, in terms of building his own discipline and structure. He used that car to help me help myself. He used that car to teach me how to drive. As many of you probably already know, a common issue with youth who have experienced foster care is that it is very difficult to learn how to drive. By the time I entered college, I lived in 5 different placements. And so when you're a nomad, it's difficult to form those bonds so that someone can actually trust you with their car. But he did. And God bless him. He taught me when I was well into my 30s how to drive, so that I would no longer have to depend on him, or anyone for that matter, to take me from point A to point B. So that Lumina gave me a window into the invaluable gifts that Owens Shelby possesses that he will invariably carry on when he executes his duties on the bench. He showed me what commitment truly looks like. He does not leave when the going gets tough, but rather he doubles down and figures out a way to solve complicated problems that most human beings would run away from at the speed of lightning. Owens has demonstrated what it means to be driven by integrity with respect to all of his decision-making processes. There is not a single person or material thing that would force Owens to compromise on his ethics or his morals. They are ingrained within the fabric of his identity. He will strive with every fiber of his being to do the right thing, irrespective of the consequences. Owens has shown all who know him what it means to fuel your dreams with the discipline and hard work of an army. I have not met a single soul who can outwork my husband. He works full-time in the front lines, in the courtroom, as a state's attorney, while leveraging his network to learn how to operate a campaign. I have never in my life seen anything like this well being a committed father and husband. During one of his campaigns, I watched him go out into the cold in Chicago every single night and collect all of the signatures that he needed in order to put his name on the ballot. At the end of that campaign season, I can personally tell you that his shoes were worn out to the point where the soles were paper thin. So no one can outwork my husband. Last but not least, Owens has taught me that I cannot be selfish in terms of sharing his gifts. He has an unflinching desire to serve his community, and I know with every fiber of my own being that the impact he is destined to generate extends far beyond his sacred family, for when he wins, we all win. As Owens continues to embark upon his journey of greatness while taking on this noble mantle of leadership as a judge, I urge you to continue loving him and supporting him in the ways that you always have over the course of this decade-long journey. Root for him in ways that he will never ask. He will never ask you to do this, but I am asking you as his wife. Root for him in ways that, he is. And it's innate, and it's one of the many things I love about him. So, while I know in my heart that he is just getting started, we will continue to need each of you amid these future journeys. I love you all, and congratulations to my husband.